You dropped out of college, and your highest...
Community college.
Sorry, your Harper College experience.
Yeah,
I apologize.
barely was smart enough to make it through community college.
Okay, so...
Barely made it through high school,
your
too.
highest degree level is an honorary doctorate degree from Liberty University.
No, that's true. I do have an honorary PhD.
Yeah. So essentially, what are your qualifications for arguing that college is a scam, or really having any economical knowledge at all, when likely the vast majority of the students here know more than you about economics as a whole?
Okay, so... no, hold on. It's okay, guys. It's okay. Who's Milton Friedman?
Who's Milton Friedman? I have no idea, and it's not important to this conversation.
Who is Ludwig von Mises?
These are all probably economists, and they're the same
Yeah,
thing.
who is John Maynard Keynes?
Okay, obviously I know who Keynes is.
Oh, obviously, yeah.
He's the most famous economist of all time.
You don't know Milton Friedman?
I mean, that's an economist.
Okay, how about Murray Rothbard?
That's another economist.
F.A. Hayek?
I don't know who that is.
Well, then you just came here and insulted my intelligence. You're right, I barely made it through community college because I was too busy, starting a national youth movement with hundreds of thousands of members.
Hey, hold on, though.
Hold on. Employing hundreds of people, raising hundreds of millions of dollars,
yes,
having a top 10 most popular podcast,
sure,
and reaching tens of millions of people online every day.
Sure,
but hold on.
But you're also calling all of your
qualifications?
Constituents idiots by saying they participate in a scam. Their shirt's right there.
I'm
College
calling
is
the
a scam.
institution a scam.
So then
I never insulted the intelligence. I just had
then
10 people come up and we had warm conversations. So you asked, what are my qualifications? I'm a job creator, entrepreneur, autodidact. Do you know what that word means?
Self-taught.
Yeah, self-taught. You should probably learn that word if you're going to come up and insult other people's intelligence.
Hey.
So autodidacticism is what Leonardo da Vinci was. You don't have to go to college to be wise. You don't have to go to college to be intelligent. I read 100 books a year. I visit over 150 colleges.
I'm not saying you're unintelligent. I'm just saying you lack qualifications.
Well, are you a New York Times bestseller?
Of course not. I'm in college.
Got it. So I'm just trying. What are my qualifications? I have published books, read lots of books, dialogued with a lot of people, and instead of asking what my qualifications are, can you name one thing I've ever said? Hold on. Name one thing I'm wrong about.
You literally just now incorrectly cited the difference between socialism and communism. While you yourself...
How so? What did I do?
How so? You claimed that Russia was socialist. Russia was never socialist.
The Soviet Union was socialist.
No, it was a communist nation. There is a significant difference between the two.
Why did Lenin say that socialism is the gateway to communism, and he was self-described socialist in his private treatise and documents in the Russian Revolution?
Lenin was overtaken by Stalin.
Hold on a second. No, Lenin died, and then Stalin was his successor.
Yes.
But Lenin himself said, quote, that socialism is the introductory phase to communism. Did he not say that?
So then the vast majority of people, when they're referring to communist Russia, are referring to Stalin's rule over Russia. That was a communist rule that turned into a fascist rule later on.
Okay, so but what thinker was deified in Soviet Russia?
Thinker was deified?
Yes.
Marx.
Oh, and what book did Marx write?
Yes, he wrote Capital, and he also wrote the Communist Manifesto.
Who was his co-author?
Who was co-author?
Yeah, Engels. Good. I'm glad college is really paying off for you.
Hey.
So but it's okay. It's fine. He comes up here and insults my intelligence. What are your qualifications? Doesn't even know the co-author of the Communist Manifesto or Das Kapital. But no, let me just...
Does my lack of knowledge on that mean that I have no knowledge? Again, is that the same thing?
You came up here and insulted me. And you came up here guns a-blazing, man. And let me just ask, again, what did I say that was wrong? I said that under the generally agreed upon definition of communism and socialism, which are interchangeable terms, one is a more harsh degree of the other, is that the elimination of the family, the elimination of private property, and the deprivation of basic human rights such as right to speech, right to assembly, and right to worship. How is that not a good definition of communism or socialism?
That explains fascism better.
Well, but in the Communist Manifesto, Marx said, quote, we are here to destroy the nuclear family and eradicate the family because it was the original oppressive, tyrannical structure. He said religion is the opiate of the masses and that private property must be eradicated. I have just now documented all three of those with evidence back to original source documents. And then in practice, Russia did all those three things when they were the Soviet Union. So where am I wrong?
But then at the same time, if you claim that those are all negative things, then why do you practice certain things in the doctrines that you just stated?
Well, I'm not trying to take people's stuff away. I want people to have bigger families, and I want churches to remain open.
Yeah, but the thing is your biggest point that everyone here is for is that you're a potential white supremacist. So.
What evidence do you have that I'm a racist?
I was just literally watching a video of you talking about whiteness as a whole, talking about whiteness as a concept, okay? And you were trying to explain how white privilege doesn't exist.
Correct, it doesn't.
You are a white man. How do you know?
Because I have eyes.
Because you have eyes. That's
And
not
I
a
have
description.
reason. So what can a black person do that I can't do in America? Or
What can a
vice
black
versa?
person do?
What can I
So,
do a black person can't do, I should
Let's
say?
think of some history right here. Let's go through the history of redlining.
I don't need a history. I don't need
Yes,
listen.
no,
you're talking about white
You do
privilege.
need a history lining. Clearly,
No,
you need a history
I know your
lesson.
talking points better than you do, and I've read all the literature that you have. I've probably forgotten more
History
about the
affects
literature.
history affects the present day as well, and you know that's true. If you went to college, you would know.
Well, hold on a second, but let me.
So then why are you wearing the college as a scam shirt? Drop out.
Well, because you could.
So it's because you don't believe your own beliefs, and that's what I'm saying.
You can admit something's a scam and still get through it. That's why he's wearing it. Okay.
Why?
You could feel like you're getting ripped off by an airline
But
and still want to get to New York.
that's not what we're talking
okay?
about anymore.
Like you're like, I'm getting ripped off by a $1,000 ticket, but you still get on the airplane. Like, it doesn't make you a hypocrite. It means that the people are ripping you off, and a lot of you are getting ripped off. But no. So as far as white privilege, just without the history lesson of Jim Crow, segregation, imperialism, colonialism, slavery, all the stuff that I know that you're going to say, but just concretely in America today, what can a white person do that a black person can't do?
Black applicants to jobs are 50% less likely to get jobs if they have a black-sounding name.
That's not even close to being true. That's not even close to being true.
That is a literal.
In fact, it's the opposite.
I'm not going to argue your lived experience. I'm not going to. No.
See, now you have to listen to him under your rules because a black person is going to say you're wrong.
I am. He can say I'm wrong. I know.
Come on up to the mic.
I know. I read your.
My name's Keemon Dixon. I have a really black name. Please tell me how 50% of my internships have been denied when I've worked for Senator Mike Lee, Mayor Trent Sachs, Speaker Mike Schultz.
Hold on.
I've worked for Congressman Burgess Owens. I've actually worked on his campaign. I've worked on the campaigns of John Huntsman Jr. Please tell me how my black experience and my black name has not given me shit. Go ahead.
So,
it's actually nice when someone is trying to debate you and you have another person that is, trying to justify what you've been saying. Charlie have been saying that there is nothing a black man can do that a white man cannot do, and there is absolutely nothing a white man can do that a black man cannot do. It all depends on competency. If you are competent for the job, you get the role. So it's not like because you are black, I'm not going to give it to you. No, American is not systematically racist. People can practice racism individually, but it's not like as in their constitution that this role are meant for just a particular race. You understand? So that is why Charlie is actually against DEI. You understand? He feels like there should be equal opportunity for everyone, and that is why I agree with him, because there should not be a pattern or something that favors one particular race simply because of past events. I believe that what has happened in the past should remain in the past. And if we are to move forward, we need to start letting go of the past. That is just the truth. When Charlie spoke about college being a scam, I don't agree with him 100%, you understand, when it comes to that topic. But like I've always said, if you have a particular purpose of going to college, you understand, you feel like I want to go to college because I want to get this degree, and there is availability of job for whatever you're going to study in college, then I advise you to go for it. You don't just go to college simply because a whole lot of people are pursuing a particular field, then you decide to join the crowd. You might struggle to get employment, you understand. There are profession or let's say programs that people shy away from simply because of how difficult it is. And those profession pays more, you understand. Some of these professions are very difficult to even get, something like medicine, you understand. The number of people going for medicine are quite few, even if they are much, but the intake are few because of how difficult it is, to be able to, qualify to study medicine, especially in my part of the world, you understand. So if you get the opportunity to study medicine, probability of you getting a job is like, let's say 70 to 80%. But their profession that probability of you getting a job after college is like 20%. So why then do you take loan to study these courses? Because it feels like you're wasting the money, because you have less than 50% chance of even getting employed. So it feels like you've taken the loan, you studied this course, and the job is not coming. You end up doing other things that does not even require you to go to college. So that is why I feel Charlie is saying college is a scam, because they are teaching you something that you might not even use in the workforce. You understand? I went through college and I have my certificate, but I'm not using it. You understand? It's not that it's a bad idea. You understand? It's just that I just feel like whatever I'm making now is way more than what I'm going to make even if I go to college. So, I mean, whatever I'm making now is way more than what I will make if I use my college degree. So I don't see the point, you understand? But I'm not in any way discouraging anyone from going to college. If you think that you need that certificate to, do whatever you want to do, or just go for it. I've seen people working already and they feel like the amount of money I make in this work is not much. I believe that if I have a degree, my pay will increase. And they go back to school, get a degree, and their pay goes up, you understand? Because now they already know how the workforce is about. They know that, yes, this is the degree I need to go for to increase my pay or increase my knowledge on this field. So they go to college, they get the degree, and that is it. But as a young guy just leaving high school, you need to know what you are going for. You don't just take loan with having faith that at the end of the day, you're going to repay your loan. I've seen people work for years and years and years struggling to pay their student loan. So if you are in that shoe, I believe college is a scam. You understand? But aside from that, I still believe college is needed because it's still beyond what you learn or what you practice in life. Sometimes you get the opportunity to meet people that might put you in places in life. You understand? I've seen, even from high school, I was privileged to, study with, high place people in society, their children. And those are the connections you need because it's beyond what you learn in school. Sometimes it's about who you know. Because you can have the best degree and I will know someone that is placed in the right place. Because of that relation, the person trusts me and believes in what I can do. The person will give me the job instead of giving you to have the best certificate. Where even if I preach for competency, I'm just telling you how the word works. You understand? But I feel like the best thing to do is to give the job to who deserve it. You understand? But sometimes it goes the other way, whereby people will employ you based on trust. You understand? Based on the belief that you can deliver. Yeah, I've seen people that have passed third class employing people with first class because it's beyond college to make it in this life. You understand? Sometimes it's beyond. It's what you need to make it is how you think. It's beyond the paper because yeah, you need to study hard to get a good grade. You understand? But it's beyond what is in that paper. It's all boiled down to what you have in you. You understand? That is what will make you maybe the richest man or whatever in life. Anyway, this is beautiful. I love this. And I want to see more videos like this. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If it is the first time visiting the channel, click on the subscribe button. Thanks for watching and remember blessed.